Colby, we can't stop this podcast yet
Why not, Barry?
because we're not up to feature-length film. That's gonna be... I don't know if it's the same in the remake, but we'll see if anyone gets that one.
You're right.
What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. Theme music?
Theme music. I guess I added my own theme music there. Whoops.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the third movie of
Jason Pargin month. The guy who wrote John Dies at the End.
Yeah,
And he also wrote This Book is Full of Spiders. And if you're
arachnophobic
reading this book, you're in the wrong universe.
Oh.
And Zoe punches the
donkey.
universe in the nuts. They're all just the great titles.
It's a lot of nuts.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you sure he also didn't do the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe?
That was awesome. Great book.
Now, before we tell you what the movie is, we do a little ditty here, and it's been kind of a hard month to do these, to be honest. So, let's see if you guys get it, though. All right? I hope we don't get hit with a copyright strike, because I'm going to sing this in a tune of my childhood.
Ooh,
all right?
Baby shark.
No, that's not in my... I'm not 5. What a day. Oh no, there's 2 guys coming asking for eggs. I think they want us dead. Oh, we're talking about Michael Hankey's 1997 Funny Games. I know, people are going to be like, Barry, you're Filipino. You should be able to sing. But recently I've heard that I've suffered from a disease called FCS, Filipinos Who Can't Sing. Oh,
Yeah, I've heard there's no cure for that.
a very small percentage of the Filipino population suffers from it. I neither can I groove and dance well. I'm just a garbage Filipino. It's I'm like the Danny DeVito of Filipinos in terms of genealogy. Do you remember that quote from
but
Twins?
also humor.
Do you remember that quote from Twins with Arnold? He's like, you got all the good genes from mom and dad, and what am I? I'm just a bag of shit. I know he didn't say it like that.
It's a little bit like that, yes. Oh, man, it's been 15 years since I've seen that movie.
That's even shorter than I thought it was. It's still recent.
I did see that in the theater, though.
Which one? Oh, Twins.
Twins.
What a. Do you remember the cover for that? It looked like Miami Vice.
Yes.
Except Arnold Schwarzenegger had nothing to lean on.
Right, yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, we're gonna be talking about the 1997 Michael Hankey. I think I'm probably butchering that. Someone from Deutschland is gonna be like, speak of the Deutsch. No, I don't. I've seen a couple other movies that guy has done, and they're all just super unsettling.
Excellent.
Yeah, I don't.
And he also did the remake. He did his own remake in English.
What a boss move, though. You know what
right.
I bet you he can't do a remake of The Piano Teacher. I don't know if you've seen that one. Terrible. It's not terrible, but just super hard to watch. Yeah, but we're talking about the 1997 Funny Games.
Funny Games. Oh, hey, because I wasn't prepared, and then I couldn't even remember the guy's name. When I said John Dies at the End, he's the writer of that. He does like little online things, Instagram TikTok things, and he has recommended that everybody should watch, like over the time period, 5 different movies, and so 4 of them I have not seen, and those are the 4 movies that we're doing. We're doing his recommendations.
Yeah.
Just I didn't explain that if you have not seen the last two episodes, you'd be like, he wrote that movie? What? It came out 20 years before John dies at the end. I don't get what you're talking about.
And that's why you only got one movie too. No, I would actually love to see the rest of his like novels come to life. They're like, it's such a, I think it would be such a breath of fresh air in Hollywood right now, just because I feel like
right,
like movies have become so stale lately.
Just everything is just a remake or a comic book.
Yeah, which I mean, like, you know, hey, you grew up in an era where like everyone was starving for comic books.
Right.
So I know dudes your age are just nutting all over their pants. It has been like the golden age for comic book like fans.
It is, but there's a lot.
Yeah,
so there's a lot.
There's a lot of good and bad in this whole situation.
Yeah, I'm like, and like, hey, I finally saw Flash, and yeah, I am like, I don't know why everybody hated this movie. This was pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, like,
it's not my favorite comic book movie, but
yeah,
if this was like, if this comic book movie came out before like the Avengers trilogy, everybody would like crap their pants like this was the greatest comic movie ever made.
Yeah, you know, like, I heard a lot about it. You know, they talk, like, a lot of people harp on the CG, and the guy was like, it's intentional to show how the Flash looks at the world, which makes sense, like, to see it from his POV. Right. You know, it's just, like, there's a lot of some choices that were kind of, like, felt a little goofy, but I was like, whatever, man. Like, the way he ran.
Yeah.
Like, you know, for such a big budget, I wish they really would have spent a lot of it on, like, how cool the running looks. And I get his inspirations, like speed skaters. Yeah. And all that stuff, but it looks kind of goofy.
Yeah. No, I agreed. And then there's also the Quicksilver from X-Men.
Yeah, from X-Men.
They did such a fantastic job showing how fast he was.
Yeah.
Like, the world was just... Like, it was just him walking through this world that was barely moving. And, like, it would be hard to do the way they do the Flash would be basically just copying that. So they had to do it, like, a little bit differently.
All right, we're going to have a little nerd battle right now, though. But technically, the Flash is faster than Quicksilver. So they could have, like, even done it even more, like, distorted.
Right.
I think that would have been really cool. But, yeah, I see where you're coming from.
But, like, just to...
Quicksilver did it.
Yeah, exactly. They mocked it exactly, because almost like when he's trying to save the babies.
Yeah,
that's similar.
Yeah,
same kind of jokes and stuff.
Yeah, it's really hard to innovate such a power.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like, and it's a shame, but you know, it's just, it is what it is. But like, there's a lot of things there for like old school like comic fans, like Michael Keaton being like super badass as Batman and still having the same neck thing. Yeah. The neck issue.
Yep.
But it's like there's like a terror in that like you're thinking like someone as seasoned as that Batman would have by that time adjusted that neck issue. But he's like, nah, it's fucking badass. And I don't know if Michael Keaton was doing his own stunts, but if he was, brutal. It's a pretty brutal Batman. Yeah. And unfortunately, we don't get enough of Kara. Which was like a shame. I think she looked great. Her action scenes were like awesome. You know, I thought that was pretty cool. So, but yeah, like, well, back to the movie situation, right? Kobe mentioned he hasn't seen like some of these. This one I have seen. Just because of everybody, like, you know, like I'm such a glutton for punishment. Everyone's like, I always have to watch like fucking just disturbing behavioral movies and stuff like that.
Right. It's interesting. It's like this could have been much bloodier, and so I feel like usually like usually when I'm like by myself and I'm watching a horror movie, I'm watching something silly.
Yeah.
And then when I'm like with my significant other watching horror movies, it's usually
The most gore scene.
yeah, no gore. Like
Okay.
no slasher stuff. Lots of paranormal, lots of like, demons, that kind of stuff. Super cool. She's totally into that.
Yeah.
Just not gore, no hack and
No
slash.
Saw. Stuff like Texas Chainsaw.
Right.
Yeah, like, and then obviously this movie is like from '97, and it's a smaller, like, it's like an indie film,
and it's subtitled, and she's always like, I would prefer not to read my movies. I will read a book. I will watch a movie. Not together at the same time.
Yeah. So like, when I watched it, I was like, the issue with me watching it as late as I did is because I watched The Strangers first. And then I saw this, and then this one is more like it feels like a satirical. There's like satire in there that I just probably my small monkey brain doesn't understand.
Yes, I had to watch it twice to like comprehend what was like
the point.
Yeah. No, like, because like on the surface, like you get the point of the movie, but then, like you said, there's some satirical things in there that don't really make sense, and then you have to kind of watch it like a second time, and it's like, oh, they're putting this in for, they're like making a point.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like,
what is it like? Well, okay, let's do a really quick run through of this film, just because it is, even though it's like almost 2 hours. I think like I believe like 140.
Right.
It's topping out at 140 before the credits hit. It is pretty simple. So we do start off with this family going to their vacation cabin, which nice for them.
It's just a beautiful vacation cabin. Wow.
We get meet with George, Anna, and George Jr. It's not a monkey. I thought it was. No. And they're going up to their cabin. They see their neighbors.
Right.
And they wave to them, but they're like, "Oh, I don't know those two fellas next to them, but whatever." And so as the family gets settled in, the husband and the son are out by the boat.
Yep.
And the mom is she's like setting up lunch or something like that. One of the kids from next door, who his friend calls him Fatty all the time, it's either Fatty or Butthead. Or Beavis, whichever one.
Right. There's a couple to Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, just like famous duos throughout animation history.
But like ridiculous ones, yeah.
Yeah, but he always comes back to Fatty.
Yeah.
He comes over, he's like, "Oh, man, I have some eggs." And she's like, "Yeah, sure." But he's like really very off-putting at first.
Very socially awkward.
Yeah,
that's how I felt.
Yeah, like it's like this one kid I knew that had Asperger's. Couldn't pick up on social cues and all that stuff. It was just a very uncomfortable situation for the wife, right? She's a woman. She's like alone in the house right now. So, but like no, he takes the eggs, he drops it, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so clumsy." Even though she had asked, "Do you want me to wrap them for you?"
Right, and he's like, "No, just put them in my weirdly gloved hands."
Yeah. And so she's like, "Oh my god!" And at this point, she's kind of getting annoyed. She's like, "Hey, do you think I can get 4 more?"
Right, and she's like, "I only have 12, and I can't get to the grocery store till Monday, but whatever. At least
whatever to get you at the house."
Yeah, at least the family doesn't usually
eat
big on breakfast. So
I love eggs.
I could eat eggs all the time.
But then there's another situation where he gets like the mobile phone in his hands and he drops it into the sink, and he's like, "Oopsie."
Yeah. Right, yeah. And no, like urgency to get the phone. He's like, "Boop! Uh-oh! Look what I did. The phone is sitting there in this full sink of water and bubbles."
Yeah, and like I was like, at this point, 97, I would have thought this kid was the R word.
Right. Yep.
In 97, it was okay to say that word. But then all of a sudden, his other friend comes in looking like an Austrian Antonio Banderas.
Really does. He's got some Antonio, like a young Antonio features.
Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, look at this driver. Oh, so good. Can I practice outside?" And like she's just so annoyed at this. She's like, "Yeah, fine, whatever." But because like before they came in, there was like this German Shepherd.
Right. They had brought a German Shepherd. The boys like pet.
I'm sorry, the German Shepherd.
But he also Tubby also says, "Oh, the dog tried to attack me, and I dropped the second batch of eggs.
I was so scared.
I'm afraid of dogs."
You know, it's funny. We do have like at least like one person from Frankfurt listening to us.
We just lost them. I apologize.
And I hope he's like, "Oh, the German accent is so good." Speak the Deutsch. Danke. No, and so like he goes outside and the dog is barking. At this point, the George and George Jr. have noticed the dog barking, but all of a sudden it stops, and he's like, "Oh, that's strange."
Right. Yep.
So he goes back into the house, and at this point, Anna's like super annoyed. So she's like, "Can you please tell them to leave?"
Yeah. Yeah, because she asked them. She's like, "Okay, I'm done with you guys. Go."
Yeah, can you please?
I have dinner to make. I don't need you in here. Just
sleep, please.
And they're like, "But we've dropped the second batch of eggs. We need your last 4."
And at this point, now he's like, light skinned Antonio Banderas is getting kind of confrontational with George.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm going to have to ask you to leave." And then he like turns his back, and then he gets a 5-iron to the kneecap.
Right, because he's all like,
he's like, "I'm going to
give me the eggs, because you don't want me to break your eggs."
Yeah, but he got Tonya Harding.
Oh, hardcore.
Yeah, and so now the family is like, "Oh my God, we're going to die." And so at this point, you could assume that these two...
But they're still like weirdly polite. They're like, "Oh, you forced us to hit you in the leg, but Tubby, he's going to nursing school, so let him look at it. He can help bandage up your knee that I just broke."
Because I was so scared of you. Yeah,
he does it. He splints up his leg. Like, what?
Yeah. So because they want to extend the fun.
Right, yeah. So, but you're still like, at this point, you're like, are they good? Are they bad? Are they just like
assholes?
Are they on drugs or something?
Yeah. Are they little roadmen, little gangsters? Yeah, little drug dealers. No, but the family does see that there's an issue with the situation.
Yeah.
At this point in time, they're like, "Oh my God, it's gonna get scary." So the rest of this movie, it's really hard to like, because there's so much dialogue in this month. There's nothing but dialogue or the absence of dialogue.
There is a lot, yes.
Because now at this point, like it is an hour and probably like 10 minutes of just tormenting this family and little George Jr.
Right.
But they're like, "Oh, we're going to play a game."
A funny game.
I feel like this is gonna be another. This whole month is just gonna be like a lot of theorizing from the both of us talking about the whole thing, because like the rest of this movie, it feels like it's pretty linear. It's like very like The Strangers. They just get tormented by these two kids.
Right.
They're making cracking jokes all the time. At some point, George Jr. is able to escape.
Oh right, yes, because he wets his pants, and they're like,
"Oh, gross."
Yeah, "Oh, go clean yourself up." And he runs upstairs to his room, but he climbs out the window and down off the little patio ledge, and then runs to the neighbor's house, because at that point, if nothing else, he's like, the neighbors know these two.
Yeah, maybe
they can
stop them.
Yeah.
But this is only after like George Jr. has seen them terrorizing his parents.
Right.
And like at this point, George Sr. is like he's enabled now. That's what you got to do, right? You have to take down the man that's gonna be able to possibly fight back.
Right. Right.
And
yes, because George Jr. is certainly young enough that he's no threat.
Yeah, he's too little.
And the wife she's frail.
Yeah, she's frail. She's hysterical. Like during this whole situation, he's like, George Senior, tell your darling to undress. He's like, hey, take it off. He's like, no. Tell her, undress, darling.
Yeah, it is. It's super creepy. Yeah. And at that point, they've got like a pillowcase and like
over
the George Jr.'s head. And they're like, oh, we don't. He doesn't need to see this. And you're like,
to see his mother's
oh
tatas?
my god, how far is this gonna go?
Yeah, and like they don't show it. They don't show her, but then like later on, you do still see her breast.
Yeah, well, yeah. And as soon as she gets like naked, he's like, "See, Tubby, she has no jelly rolls. She is still very fit for a woman of her age. Now put your clothes back on."
Yeah, they're like, what are you, 35? 37? Oh, so fit. Such like a weird commentary. But yeah, this is at that point the kid is able to escape. He goes to the neighbor's house, but he sees that the neighbors are dead.
Yes.
Even the kid.
Yeah.
Who he does know, and he's like hiding throughout this whole thing. He does like he takes off his like I thought like he took off his shoes and his pants, and I was like, okay, maybe because he's gonna sneak around. No, he like runs all over.
Right, but he was leaving like wet footprints.
Yeah.
So he'd take off his
socks.
His pants so that he wasn't he still stomped around.
Yeah.
But at least it wasn't like an easy trail to follow.
Yeah. A little piss trail.
Kid.
Yeah, as a kid.
You know,
he's like probably like 8 or 9.
Yeah, you have to think through things. So
yeah. But what's it called? He is able to find a gun, like a shotgun,
right.
Like a hunting gun, I believe. Because I know in Europe they're pretty strict about like their gun laws.
Right, but they did talk about how George and the guy from that house had hunted before.
Yeah, no, that's why.
That's
why I wanted to clarify. It's a hunting gun.
Yeah.
Which I understand.
Quail shotgun or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, because you have to have like a special license, and then they like track. I believe they track like the amount of bullets that you have and all that stuff. So, but he tries to shoot Antonio Banderas, and it's not loaded.
Right.
And he like knocks the kid out.
Yeah, because the kid doesn't think to check to see if it's loaded, and there is 2 dead bodies in the house. So apparently the double barrel gun. Was both shots were fired.
You're not thinking too hard about like you're like he's like a 9-year-old kid. He doesn't understand like the weight of the gun. He's right. Like, these aren't because even's like you should prime the gun.
Yeah.
And so that means it's been used. You know what I mean? But they bring back the kid back to the home, and he's like crying. He's like, I'm so sorry, I couldn't find help. Yeah. And light-skinned Antonio Banderas is like, oh, Fatty, are you hungry? Oh, why am I asking? Of course you're hungry. And he's like, well, here, just pick whoever.
Well, they said, well, if the wife's age is 35, we will play Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo for 35. Oh. And then while I get some food. And then he goes into the kitchen to start making some food, and then you hear the countdown, and then boom, gun goes off. And he's like, what the hell? We're counting down to see who got saved, not who got killed.
Fatty.
And then, but you don't see it. They just then show the TV screen in the wall just splattered in blood.
Yeah.
And you hear the 2 boys kind of arguing for a minute, just as that weird camera angle just sits there.
Yeah, like the husband and wife are.
Well, at that point you still just see the TV screen. It's weird, like NASCAR going on or something.
Oh, okay.
And the blood, and then you hear the 2 boys leave. And then the camera pulls way far back, and you see that it's George Jr.
Yeah.
His body's in front of the TV, and it's his head that's
blown
missing.
Off. Yeah, it was.
And the mom is just on the couch in
shambles.
Shock.
Yeah, and like the husband.
And then George is on the ground.
He's like knocked out, I think.
Well beaten up.
Yeah, and the two boys do leave, and you know this pair couple is distraught. They are, you know, every emotion that you could possibly feel in this situation is like flooding them.
Right. Yeah.
Like the arc flood situation. So, but they're like, all right, let's try to get out of here in case they come back.
Right. Right.
She tries to bring her husband. Super long shots on these takes too, and he's like, "No, go. You should go. Find help just in case."
Yeah, because they're like these kids were playing games. We don't know if they're coming back, so you know.
So we don't know.
The door, the front and the back door are like bolted shut.
Yeah.
So I can't get out. My leg is broken. My arm is broken. I will use the hairdryer to try to dry the phone and see if I can get it to work. You can run out the window and see if you can find
anybody.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, what she does find is she passes up on the first car.
Right.
And then she gets the second car, but unfortunately it's the two boys. And they bring him there, and then we have another long dialogue piece. And then I believe they shoot the husband. And now they're like, all right, I guess we'll just kill you too.
They kill the husband after, I guess we'll talk about that at the end.
Yeah.
That is a really weird scene, and then they kill the husband.
Is it? I thought they killed the husband, and then they try to kill the girl, but then she reaches for the shotgun.
No, she reaches for the shotgun first.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. And we're back with me standing. Was it corrected?
Correct.
All right.
Yeah, he was wrong.
Yeah, so they end up knocking out the husband, and then they make Anna pray.
Yes, they make her say a prayer, and she's like, I don't know a prayer, and they like say a.
Well, Fatty says a prayer.
Yeah, and then he's like, okay, well, that prayer is really easy, so you have to say it backwards.
Yeah, and then that's when she goes for the gun, shoots Fatty.
Yeah.
And then light skin Antonio Banderas is like, no, where is the remote? I was like, what? Is this like an OCD thing that's happening right now?
Right, because the TV is still on, right?
No, it's off. She turns it off.
It is off, yeah.
But he presses rewind, and it goes back to the start of when he's like, say a prayer backwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Fatty's alive again.
Yeah.
He's like fucking
and
Deadpool.
This time when she reaches for the gun, he grabs it and then shoots her husband.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, if you're going to try to grab the gun, I guess you've made your decision that George is dead.
Yeah. And then the morning comes, they go onto the boat, and then they throw her off.
Right. All tied up. But earlier there was a little scene where they had met the neighbors.
Yeah, that is like super
that are
early.
Across the lake.
Yeah.
And so then they're like, yeah, they boat over to the neighbor's house.
Yeah, and presume to start the funny games.
Right, because they knock on the door and they're like, oh, I met you yesterday and asked if I could borrow some eggs.
Yeah. Because Anna has unexpected guests.
Yes.
And so, may I borrow some eggs? And I guess it's his turn to play like the bumbling idiot.
Right. Yep.
Maybe this time. And then the movie, it cuts to, like, a lot of this movie is like him looking at the camera very Deadpool-ish.
Right. Yeah. Because then he looks, as she goes to go for the eggs, he looks at the camera very Joker-like.
Yeah.
And then at the very beginning, like when, I guess we didn't say that he killed the dog, but
yeah,
he takes the golf club, and that's when the dog stops barking.
Yeah.
And then Anna goes out to look for the dog, and he's all like, warmer, colder, warmer.
Yeah.
And then as she kind of walks towards where the dog's at, that's the first time he kind of turns around and looks and gives like a little wink to the camera.
Yeah, look at this.
And then there was one other time where he's like, I bet you're taking their side, but
they're not gonna win.
Yeah.
All right, before we talk about our thoughts on this film, let's do our other section, high star, low star. Kobe?
So we got, what is this, 10 out of 10?
Yep.
We got one of the most gripping films about the dark side of human nature. This is one of those I nearly didn't watch. I thought it would be a pseudo-intellectual dive about the evil nature of video games. I'm very glad I got over myself and finally did watch it one day. What an amazingly done film. I've never seen such great acting in a German language movie. The film is Austrian, just to be precise. The script is full of surprises, and the whole film has a tightness that's very rare. Very little detail is in every little detail is in the right place. Michael Haneke always likes to challenge his audience, but even among the more controversial films, Funny Game stands out. The story follows the logical nightmare, uneasy tension gives way to unreal horror as you stare in disbelief at what is happening on screen. This is one of the most gripping films about the dark side of human nature that I've ever seen. Pure cinematic entertainment, and yet it goes beyond that and stays with you long after you've finished watching. A masterpiece. 10 out of 10.
All right, and then we got 1 out of 10. Nothing. This is a slow and clumsy exercise in pointless violence. Think the R scene in Clockwork Orange, but decontextualized and extended to feature length. Think poor acting, awkward dialogue, and meta-cinematic features such as characters winking at the camera, referring to the audience, and even rewinding the movie for an alternate take. I read some of the positive reviews, but I cannot see any redeeming virtues pointed out. The analysis of violence excuse for indulging in carnage is perhaps the most overused in the history of recent cinema. Even if we buy this excuse, it is a poor movie. It is an analysis that doesn't say anything that hasn't been said before. The media angle has been exploited a lot better in movies such as Man Bites Dog, or even its poor ripoff, Natural Born Killers. More bad news. There is a Hollywood remake of this starring Naomi Watts about to be released. Same director. This review's from 2006.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like we always talk more about the low ratings just because, that has all the negative points of view.
Right.
This movie did come out in 1997. I feel like killing kids wasn't like a huge thing in the 90s.
Right. Yeah.
Except for B horror movies of alien takeovers, in that sort of sense. This one is because I feel like it's, besides the breaking the fourth wall, which you could see as a little talking point to the director to its audience, or you could see it as, well, these killers are fucking mentally ill because they think they're talking to somebody.
Right. Yeah. So that was kind of the first time I watched it. I was like, are they crazy?
Yeah.
And then and then the second time I watched it, it's like I felt more like, almost like this was like we were playing a video game, and he's just talking to the controller, hey, look what I did for you.
Yeah, in my head too, I was like, I like the whole mentally ill part of it, just because I'm thinking about it in my head. It's like, what's he looking back to? Because then I see it from the other point of view of him looking back to something, and it's just open, just
right.
an open field.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you're in the shoes of Anna, and you look back at him, and he's just looking at something or nothing at all, and you're like, okay, these guys are mentally deranged. This is why they're doing this. I like that because it's just it's such a anarchy type of feel to it.
Right.
So that's what I was thinking about that.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's it made me think. That part made me think more than the murders, like the killing. And like I said, like in '97 was like, if you're gonna kill a kid, you're doing it off screen. You're
implying it,
implying
possibly.
it.
Yeah.
It's not,
or more than
there's
likely.
not a dead child body with his head half blown off that is in this 10, 11, 12 minute long, just no camera movement take of the reaction of this bizarreness sinking into the brain of the pretty much just the mom. Dad's like beat up and unconscious. Like,
oh yeah, that's it. I think it's even worse. Is like you have to wake up to it,
right?
Or like wake up from.
It's the longest scene, and but it's like this weirdly powerful long scene. Like it makes you
sit
and like see, like
it makes you sit in that uncomfortable and like disturbing scene.
Yeah,
like it wants, because then I feel like looking at it from like a DP, like a director of photography point of view, you're like, I'm gonna make you sit in this and try to imagine how these two characters are feeling, like
right.
the emotion, the unsettlingness of the silence. Because she turns off the NASCAR because like after like she had witnessed her son's head getting blown off, and she turns off the NASCAR because it's making this noise, and then once the NASCAR's off,
right, then it's dead silent.
Yeah, it's like when you're, it's like a situation like if you're like in the middle of the woods and you don't hear anything, it's way creepier than like hearing animals.
Yeah, right,
like
right.
Birds chirping or some shit like that.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Fucking nuts getting busted by squirrels. And then gathering nuts.
Sexist squirrels.
Oh, yeah, and then like so like a lot of the visuals of this movie, I feel like you have to watch it to understand it. Because we can talk about it all day, but until you have to watch like a 10-minute scene of a pan of a dead kid, you're like,
right.
Yeah.
Here, we'll just be really quiet for the next 10 minutes and see you listen. No, it's everybody's like,
yeah.
Next.
You have lost a loyal retention listener. Yeah, and I feel like I would put this movie in the same category as like movies like Gummo.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that's more egregious is obviously like a Serbian film, which is like that one is just, they put every taboo thing that you could in a movie, and then yes, this is a metaphor for the Serbian government fucking us. Apparently, that's what the director's intentions are with that film. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
You've seen it?
Yeah.
You're like, you don't feel good after that. You're like, let me go watch like Rugrats or something.
Right. Yeah. Like, throw on like some Rick and Morty, or SpongeBob, something.
Adventure Time, something to fucking alleviate this dirty feeling that you feel after watching a movie like a Serbian film. And this is sort of like that. I mean, especially during the time, 97 was what, a year after Columbine?
Yeah.
And so maybe this is also like, oh, did you hear what they did in America? Oh, so terrible.
But like, I also felt like his like breaking the fourth wall, looking back at the audience, was also kind of like the director's like nod to like the tropes, like
of what?
Of like, okay, well, he's he killed the dog, and so like, and then he kind of looks back and like, yeah, we threw that in there, and then it's like oh, hopefully the good guys are gonna win, and then he like turns back and it's like, you're on their side, aren't you? Oh, they're not gonna win. Yeah. It's like he's like catching your thoughts, and then like,
yeah, they're like pretty much like, oh, let's submerge, or how do you say that fucking word? Like they're just trying to deter away or tether away or whatever fucking adjective I could use for this to from your expectations of things, you know.
Yeah, because even like at the very end, you're like, oh my god, is he gonna do that to this next family? Is that? And then he like turns and looks and gives you a little smile, like, yeah, we're gonna do it again. You know, it's.
Yeah,
it's like he's grabbing you and bringing you along for the ride.
It's like, yeah, you're going to be in this madness with me. Yeah, because like movies, there's a whole bunch of you could probably just go on things and just be like, movies like Funny Games and Gummo and like if you really want to like be depressed, you could watch like a list of films like Requiem for a Dream, Ken Park, freaking Kids. Do you remember Kids?
Yeah. Oh god, that was a long time ago too.
Yeah, but that was like one of those movies I was like, oh, that's kind of important. Like Kids, I can more tolerate because there is like a more clear cut message.
Right.
This one, it's like it's so subjective that you can kind of take it into.
Right. Yeah, because you get like I'm gonna rewind time.
You're like, what's that about?
Yeah, and it was almost another one of those things where it was like, oh, you thought that they were gonna have a chance? No, you were wrong. Yeah. We're gonna rewind this and prove you wrong. That
And like, so like, how did that portion of the film make you feel? Like you watched it twice, so
yeah.
So like, how did that go? What were your emotions through that section?
Well, the first time was just confusion.
Yeah.
But the second time it was like more that like, oh, you get that like relief. Oh my goodness, they at least got one of the two bad guys. Now at least the torture will stop because Peter will be so mad that he's just gonna kill them, and then it'll be over. Yeah, but it's because
sorry.
But then it's like, he's just, I'm gonna grab this and rewind it, and then elongate, and then yeah, now I'm gonna kill your husband because that's who you were trying to save, and now the two of us are here, so we're just gonna keep torturing you,
even worse,
till we decide that we are done.
We are tired of these toys.
Because they even said that like after like when you're like looking at the TV with the blood dripping down and you don't know which one of the people got shot still at that point. Yeah. And he's just kind of like, our leverage is gone. They're not going to be any fun now. Yeah. We might as well just leave.
The most important piece, the son.
Yeah.
Because like I know any parent would just be like, listen, can you just kill me and can you let my son and wife go?
Every parent makes that choice.
It's like, I've done enough. But like, you have like, obviously you have that natural instinct to like, I have to protect them. And it's like, if this will appease these fucking maniacs. Because like the whole time, George is like, why don't you just kill us? Why are we playing these games?
Right.
And it's like the worst thing you could say to like a mass or like a sadist. He's like, oh, but the fun will be over if I kill you now.
Right, and then it's like it just encourages them. Oh, us torturing you is bothering you that much? Yeah. Then we will definitely keep it going. Yeah, as long as we're getting a reaction, it's fun.
Yeah, relax. I just want to take a photo.
And then you get the weird like Nolan Batman Joker thing where they're like, why are you doing this? And then they get like multiple stories.
Yeah, that's like the more like the origin story. I still like the one I like the most is still like the strangers ones. He's like, you're just home,
right?
And it's like that's like the worst thing you could like say to.
Why are you doing this? Why not?
Yeah, like it's like the worst thing because it's just like it's chaotic. It's there's no reasoning is what makes it even more scary. You're just like you answered the door.
Right.
And that's why, dummy.
Yep.
Because there's entertainment for us inside the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Makes you never want to answer a door again. And even now, I'm like, I'm not answering the door.
Right. Yeah, in 97,
we were answering the door all the time.
I was probably still answering the door. I know, like, in the 80s, like, you didn't ever not answer the door.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that'd be rude.
Right.
It would be rude of me not to answer this door.
Even if somebody knocked at your door at like 10 o'clock at night, and you're like, who the hell's knocking at my door? But
you check
I'll
all the
open
rooms.
it up because...
Yeah. You check all the rooms to make sure everyone's home. It's like, is everyone home?
Yeah.
It definitely reminds me of that episode of Friends where all of the friends are in the Monica's apartment, and they all look at each other like, what? And it's like just one of those like moments of like self-realization. You're like, who else is coming? Yeah, especially in 2023, you're not answering the door for anybody.
Right.
You're like, if it's Amazon, they'll leave the package there.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's solicitors.
Yeah, right. Unless you're expecting Grubhub, you're not answering the door.
Oh my gosh, I'll tell you right now. Like every time I have a day off and the door, like someone's ringing the doorbell, I'm like, I'm not answering that. I'm gonna look through the peephole.
Right. Yeah.
And if you're not a hot chick, that's how you know I'm like dead already. You know?
Ring doorbell. Tell me who that is. I don't recognize them.
Oh man, I wish I had a ring doorbell.
They are holding a clipboard. That's not good.
Yeah, I don't want solar panels.
Oh my god.
Oh,
let me tell you, Vegas, that's the solar game is strong here.
Yeah, I always like whenever because I live in a home, and so whenever I do for some reason answer the door, I'm like, I'm just renting.
I at least 3. So my work phone and my personal phone are connected because I'm working remotely right now. So
the dream.
I do have a work phone, but it's forwarded to my personal phone while I'm at home, which is all the time now. But man, at least 3 or 4 times a week, I get the hey, do you need solar panels on your house call, and then at least twice a week, hey, is your house for sale? We're buying houses for cash.
Oh, right, freaking vultures.
And I'm always like, but where am I gonna live if you take my house? I don't want to be homeless. And they're like,
shut up.
They're like, what?
Sell me your house.
No, that's not what we meant.
Oh, right. I do love it. Like sometimes, like if my phone doesn't tell me, it's like a scam. One of the scam calls. I'm like, oh no, but then my grandpa died in this house. My grandpa's been dead for like 20 years. He died in this house. His spirit is still lingering around. Sometimes I hear the attic creak. We don't have an attic. And they're like, oh, sir. He's like, yeah, then this is where I lost my virginity.
It's going to be stuck there.
Yeah. You like the funnest part about like, obviously I know because I've been on the end of like doing these cold calls, but like it's still like I have to like if I answer this phone I have to make you as uncomfortable as possible.
Right. Yes, I did cold calling too, but that was back in the 90s.
Oh,
and that was I would rather give enemas to horses than to do cold calling again.
I know it's like.
You know, if jerk off a yak. I don't just no. Phone is the. Oh, I hate the phone.
It's like if women out there, if you do listen to this, if you ever wonder what it's like to be a guy trying to approach a woman, just try cold calling.
Yep.
It's like probably the perfect analogy of like. You want to know how it feels to be rejected? I don't know, 100 out of, like a 99 out of 100 times? Cold calling. The worst part is, I think, because cold callings, they do have, like, quotas to meet. Yeah. And it's like, you know, sometimes you, like, look at your boss like, come on. I'm trying. Help me out here.
Right, at least if you're, like... If you got the quota, you're working at like a Gap or something, you got to sell, upsell every. At least you're face to face. You can kind of schmooze a little.
Yeah.
You can like point out the clothes. Phone, none of that. It's just straight awkward talk, rejection. Period. Hang up.
Yeah.
But, at least that was my experience.
That's 100% the experience. It never changes. But yeah, like look back to the movie.
Right. Yeah, And back to the movie.
I know we're trying to pad out at least this hour. No, yeah, like it's really hard because I feel like this is a movie for that time, because like between what it's been like what 97. It's been like 25 years at this point, 25, 26 years.
Right.
It does suffer, I think, because it is a byproduct of its time.
So I watched some reviews and stuff, and so I got enough clips of the remake that it is
shot for shot.
For shot. Yeah. I mean, it's a little updated, like this. Instead of having the big block cell phone, they've got like a little, like a
Razor,
right,
or something. Like
yeah, like that kind of thing. The car is updated. It's in I guess it's in the United States instead of
it's
Germany.
in the United States, probably like upper New York.
But yeah, it is like word for word.
Yeah, because even the remote scene is like, I feel like the German scene for the remote scene was way better than the English one. I think the German one is a bit more well acted than the English one. Like I think because like in the English one, these guys don't exude the same amount of like uncertainty. Mm-hmm. They look like they build bombs in their basements. With the pair of freaking light skinned Antonio Banderas and Fatty.
Right, yeah, and Tubby's got like that like baby face, and he's super like awkward, like
just like walking to any card shop.
Yes,
there's at least one of like Tubby.
Those two guys are playing Magic. They're playing D&D, 100%.
Which I don't want us to like set a tone of like those are what D&D players are like, but they have like this false sense of like, oh, they're just kind of nerdy kids.
Yeah, hell, this could have been one of their adventures. They're like, hey, we're playing like Cloak and Dagger, not D&D today, so we're gonna be out in the
Thieving.
We're gonna be out in Austria. And the adventure starts here, and those two are just like, hey, you know what? Instead of trying to find the golden cup so that we can go, buy a ticket and watch the soccer game, we're just going to sneak into these people's house and torture them because,
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I did see a couple clips of the American remake as well, and I was like, oh, those kids look like you shouldn't have let them in. Yeah,
right.
Because they have like the way that they look at the like Naomi Watts and the husband. I forgot who played the husband.
Hey, he's also another.
He's a pretty well known actor as well. I was like, they look fine as like the couple, but this one it really felt like the actors for this movie really felt like they looked like a married couple. Yeah. Yeah. They had I think they had a pretty decent chemistry. They had like the ages look really well. They, there's a lot of little details and nuances that doesn't just translate to the American film. Maybe it's because the budget was like a little high.
Maybe, yeah.
And it looked a little too polished. Sometimes like when you with certain movies, if you polish them up too much,
yes,
it loses it.
Yep.
Unless
because we've talked about that. We've seen some, none of them popping into my head, but like we've seen some movies where we were like, if they remade this now, and you just be like, nah, it just wouldn't be the same. Yeah. Like because back then they used the practical effects. They used it was just gritty because that's what they had.
Oh, like The Thing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the original and the remake, obviously too much CG. Maybe that was for budget costs or whatever, but still, it's still like, for as much money as they threw at it, it didn't hold a candle to like what is it, 82?
Right, yeah.
The Thing. Another one too is like, one of the ones I do think would really work, and it's because of the tone of the movie, if you polished up American Psycho, like the first one with Christian Bale.
Okay.
Yeah, like that one, you really could polish it up because like his demeanor, his OCD and everything, it's so supposed to be so refined, so polished that like if you saw that like freaking, what is it, 8K now is like the highest definition. That it would make sense that it's so like it's so clean.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then like when you go to like the either his psychosis or like when he's actually murdering people, you can go to like a grainy 8mm film.
Oh, no, totally. I could, yes.
And that would be really cool. But like for this movie, yeah, like
On that one though, the hard part would be like who would play that?
Oh, Bateman?
Like, yeah, because I don't necessarily love him as an actor, but there's a couple films that like he nailed, or he like, I guess by the end of the film he defined that role.
yeah. There's like I think there's like one person. Well, he's like already now he's like too old to do it, but Magneto would have been really good for that scene. He has such a polished face. That's why. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, him. Yeah, there's like a couple actors. That's another older person, but was it Michael Killian? I think is his name from 28 Days Later.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you know? Well, he also played Scarecrow, but did you know that he went for Batman?
Oh, interesting.
And like I
could see that.
Well, I saw a test screening of him, and they said like your lips are too distinct. He has such juicy lips for a British guy. It's like, bro, put those away. Hold on. You just want to hold your finger to it. It's like, Mr. Killian.
Batman. Shh.
Yeah, but like, yeah, so like I was saying for this movie, I think because it is a product of its time. I believe. Some of the undertones of the film, some of the nuance of the film, it becomes outdated. Just because I feel like The Strangers is like because The Strangers doesn't have like the little comedic satirical moments of like breaking the fourth wall and all that stuff.
Right. This would have been even darker and more gruesome if it didn't have those.
Yeah. It's I still don't know. I should have looked into this. I was like, what are they trying to say with these like these fourth wall breaks?
Because they said that it was more like that that the director was more poking fun of the violence than glorifying it.
Yeah.
But that it needed to be there to bring the the overall movie together, to give it the feel that he wanted, but that it was still more like how did they say it? But it was like almost satirical.
Yeah.
Like it had to be like, this is the violence, it has to be there, but we don't really want it there. We don't really want to promote it, but it has to be there.
Yeah. So like after Googling it says like Peter's direct speech to the audience simultaneously implicates the audience into the violence, but also reminds them that none of it was real. Yeah. So so like if me growing up in the 90s, I do remember like movie violence, video game violence being a very hot topic. You also remember that?
Oh yeah.
You're like probably
totally.
fresh out of college.
Yep.
Or high school. Something like that. And you do remember it was like a whole bunch of moms that were mad.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, like, didn't they have a group? I know there was MAD, but that was like Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Right. There was a big group, and they were like, we got to put like warning labels on rap records that have bad language. We've got to that's when PG-13 became an extra.
Oh yeah. Like a rating.
Oh, an extra rating. Yeah, because before that it was like I tell you, I remember going to the movie theater. We had a movie theater that was close enough to walk to, and I remember going and
two tickets to Friday. What's it called? Nightmare on Elm
Street. I was like 12 years old. I saw 1 and 2, probably maybe 1, 2, and 3. I saw.
They're all good though.
Way before I could drive, I saw the.
Friday the 13th.
What was the Friday the 13th where the girl had like psychic powers and she fought against him?
I think it was like 4 or 5. It was one of those things.
Yeah.
I do remember that. Yeah.
I know I saw that one in the theater.
Yeah, stupid broads. You know, my whole clear thing is always like, because I never, like, me and you, we grew up on these movies, like ultra violent movies, like freaking. If you ever want to see, like, if you ever have like an idea of RoboCop in your head, rewatch that shit. Freaking Red Foreman is like murdering people violently.
Yeah.
I think there's like there's like a sexual assault scene in there.
Yeah.
If you remember that fondly, go back to it. And I don't know. I'm not a parent, but I feel like a lot of it is like, hey, why don't you talk to your kids? See what's going on with them, you know, in their lives at school. And I think it's, I've always felt more about like, no, like, you know, because my mom did talk to me, like, throughout my, like, growing up and all that stuff, asking me how I am, if there's any issues and all that stuff. And I think that's what's more important.
Right.
Because obviously, like, I think you got to tell your kid, teach them how to distinct fake and...
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yep. No, and it was, I had a mom and dad, and they're, like, married, you know, no divorce, nothing like that. But yeah, it was always like my mom and I talked about everything, and then my dad was just like,
I'll be in the garage.
The guy in the other room, yeah.
Such an old school dad. I'll be in the garage with my tools, tinkering.
Right, yeah. I'm going to be watching golf. Golf? What?
Who watches? I can't watch golf.
Yeah, and that was before golf was even really a thing.
Oh, that's always the worst Sundays. Saturdays and Sundays is when golf is on.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, and I think this is what this movie was trying to do, is like, because like a lot of industry people were like, you know, like script writers were like getting told like, hey, you have to tone down the violence. And I was like,
yeah,
listen, the violence is kind of essential to the story. Yeah.
And then you had the underground that would do the, well, if they're going to want us to tone down the violence, we're going to make this like fountains of blood.
All right.
You had like the trauma videos.
Oh my God, it was like 1,000 Faces of Death.
Yeah.
There's like a bunch of those films, like shitty, like shittier than Toxic Avenger, like type of movies.
Right. Sorry, total side story here, not side story, but like a little boop boop boop. They are redoing Toxic Avenger with Peter Dinklage as the star.
Oh, that's awesome, Peter Dinklage. What a guy, you know, like what a wonderful career for him. You know what I mean? That dude went from fucking a goat in a I think an American Pie movie to like one of the biggest names in like HBO TV series history.
Yeah. Was
his name Tyrion Lannister or something?
Yep.
Like that? Yeah, I didn't watch Game of Thrones. I'm sorry. Someone's gonna be like, "Oh my God, what you don't like good shit?"
Yeah, you heard about the last season. You were like, "I'm not watching any of them."
Oh, you know what? That was my thing though. I was like, "All right, I'll wait for the whole," because I was like, by that time it was like season 7, and I was like, you know what? I could wait for the final season, and then I'll just watch it all at once. And then like everyone's like, ugh. That final season shitted on all the character development for the past 10 years.
It wasn't as bad as everybody said, but what was it, 7 seasons?
Yeah.
Season 6 was
peak,
so good, and it left like at the top of the mountain, like
the bar was so high.
Yeah.
Was that Red Wedding? Or whatever?
No, that was earlier.
Okay.
It led up to the war, and then it was like this next season, all it has to be is just 10 episodes of fight scenes, and everybody will be happy. It doesn't even matter how it ends, and then it wasn't.
I know.
But it was one of those things where it was like just such a lead up, and then.
Oh, it's like getting blue balls. Yeah. That's what I heard.
Right.
I don't like blue balls. I got a nut. I know one of my friends is super into it. It's because he read the books, but every time he talked about it, it was just a lot of like incest and sexual assault, and I was like, I don't want to watch that.
It started off way more with that,
Yeah,
and then
that's how you grab your audience, right?
Right.
Like,
And
why isn't she stuck in a dryer?
Then after like once you got to like the third season, that was kind of done.
Yeah, unfortunately for some people.
Right.
Like,
But yeah, there was an awkwardly large amount in the first, especially the first season.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I don't like watching period pieces, but like I'll listen to podcasts about them. Like, you know, like the whole like Guinevere and Lancelot, hearing about that, all that shit. I'll watch it. I was like, first of all, did you know that Merlin was super shitty? He got stuck in a cave. Like he was like abusing all these women, and he finally fell in love with them. And she was like, "I'm gonna trap you in this cave." Boop. And I was like, "Well, that's a shitty ending for one of the greatest sorcerers in fiction." Oh, but yeah, if you ever go to history, like, I'm sorry, you're just gonna be sad. Hercules, not a great guy. Killed his family. During Jason and the Argonauts, was a douchebag. But yeah, back to this movie. Yeah, Colby, I mean, like, what are some of the things that you did like?
I weirdly, I loved the super long just
Takes.
Yeah, I thought that was great. In the 90s, the hey, I'm gonna flag down this car and it happens to be the guy's was probably
A cliche.
At that point, was it already a cliche?
I don't know.
Now it is.
Well, okay, because maybe I'm thinking about, like, because, like, you know, in Scream, it was, like, the parents or whatever. Something, I forgot what it was, but I felt like it was, like, I'm watching it from today's lenses, and it's kind of hard to not, to be like, oh, it was cliche.
Right.
So it could have been cliche, but.
Because I like, yeah, because I guess, you, like, was it.
Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah, that one did it.
Was like somebody in the family was driving.
Yeah, and picked her up. It was the sheriff.
Well, yes, that's
And
but it still was little, and it was an interesting that there was two cars.
Yeah.
And she opted to skip the first car, which would have saved her, and then she ran out and caught the second car, and that was the wrong choice.
Yeah, because it's like, it's like. For me, I don't think I would have flagged down anyone. I would have just tried to go to someone's house. But then it's like, what if they're at that house? Like, oh, look who decided to join Anna.
Right, yeah.
For the funny games. No. I could definitely see it being sort of like that oh, fuck. That super sad moment. Like, you know, like they say, like, the worst thing you could do is give somebody hope. And a lot of women do that.
This is stupid, totally like just ridiculous. My least favorite part of the movie is that she's getting ready to climb out the window, and the husband's George is like, "You gotta put on some pants and put on some shoes that you can run in." And she's like, "Yes, I will." And she does. She puts on some pants, and then she puts on the
biggest sweater,
most awkward sweater.
Who's wearing that? That's what I wanted to know. No one's fat there.
Yeah.
Because, like, the thing that bothered me was that she took off her nightgown or whatever, her undershirt.
Right.
Which is covering the biddies.
Right. To put that on so that the biddies would just be hanging out.
Yeah, and and then her clothes is, like, her bra's, like, transparent.
Yeah.
So, like, what's the point of not showing her biddies earlier when I could see them clear as day?
Yes.
It's like staring into the sun. And I gotta say, proper fit. I was like, that's a fit actress. Those biddies were nice. You guys know us. We love biddies at this point. Oh, man. All right, well, we're going to go to an hour. I feel like we've deviated so much that you guys are going to be like, you guys aren't even talking about the movie anymore. So how about we go to our other section, our rating section. If this is the first time you guys are joining us, thank you. Welcome. We're all glad to have you here. Make sure to check out the rest of the months that we do have. We got something for everybody. We got Space Debris month.
Musicals.
We got In Space.
I always say musicals.
That's his favorite.
Yeah,
that's Colby's favorite. He's a Dancing in the Rain kind of guy.
Nazi black magic.
No. It's such a funny specific thing. We also have a bunch of holiday theme months. Make sure to check those out because we celebrate the biggest holidays here. That's Christmas and Halloween.
Right. It's really the only two that matter.
Exactly. There's no. I don't want to watch July 4th movies. Those are always family dramas. Same with Thanksgiving.
Rom-coms, yeah.
And Valentine's. It's so hard to do love movies. But we do.
If we got an extra week on Thanksgiving, though, we should probably do like Thanksgiving or
a Thanksgiving horror film.
Yeah, the Gingerbread Man or something.
The Pumpkin Pie Murders.
Yeah.
At every scene of the crime, there's a pumpkin pie.
It's because they ate it before Thanksgiving.
All right. That's how you leave DNA evidence. He's like, that's not cream on top of that pie. But we do have reviews on 4 different sections. We have Stream It, DVD It, Blu-ray It, and the Ultimate Box Collection. Colby, where are you at for this one?
I would do like a little mini box with this and the remake of it.
Yeah,
I'm from what I'm hearing from about the director's other movies, I would do a box set with like some of his other movies.
Oh, that's such a glutton for punishment. Colby,
I really enjoyed this. I thought this was very intriguing. It made me think. It made me like I was confused. I was disturbed.
The feelings you're gonna have watching that box set is gonna be the same as you eating a whole tomato. And pickles on the side. So his 2 worst enemies. Fruits that disguise themselves as vegetables. So you go for a box set from this director or the remakes.
Yeah. Just if it was just this movie, I'd probably just do DVD. I don't see extras. I don't see any extras. I don't see any bonus for getting a Blu-ray over a regular DVD.
Yeah, and like you also got to remember too, like whenever you try to upscale the resolution on these older movies, it ends up being worse. So,
right.
Yeah. I think a DVD for me is fine. I am not a glutton for punishment too much. I don't know if I want to watch the rest of this guy's collection. It's like watching Von Lars's collection. You know that guy? The guy who did like Diary of a Nymphomaniac and like Antichrist. Okay. Yes. I always feel dirty watching these movies. Right. I'm like, ugh, art house films, yuck. Where's Nick Cage when you need him?
He's at the end of the Flash movie.
I need these palate cleansers after watching these type of movies, and I typically don't like to feel that way. I like to recommend shitty movies. Like, watch this and tell me how shitty it is so we can laugh about it.
Right. Yeah. This is Sharknado-ish.
Yeah, this movie isn't shitty, but like I think this is a great film for people who are really into the visual storytelling aspect of it, because I do appreciate a lot of the long takes. Because it's trying to make you like convoke a specific emotion out of you, and you're like, oh, I don't want to feel that.
Right, exactly, yeah.
And so I can see why the director of John Never Dies recommends this film. And you can see a little bit of those inspirations in that movie as well. Like some movies are like super long takes. You're like, why was that so long? All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check out our links down below for our Amazon affiliate links. I just lost my job, so how about...
So if anybody's out there hiring...
No, but yeah, make sure to check it out down below. You know, me and Colby are always trying to go for the little surf and turf because Colby's a monster. He eats well-done steaks. One of these days, I'm going to get you to eat a medium rare.
You just got to put a lot of salt on it.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah. Salt is the seasoning of the gods. You know, like salt is like one of the bare essentials. Like if you only had salt and pepper, you're fine.
Yeah, you're pretty good. You're pretty good. Yeah.
Right. Everything else is frills. You know, is fluff.
Yeah. Of course, we've got all of our social medias, our Facebook, our Twitter, our Instagram, and TikTok,
YouTube. Yep, we have all that.
Yeah, follow us on all of them. Yeah. Which we're gonna, I don't know, at some point give something away, and if you're not following those things, you're not gonna know.
Exactly.
So right, follow them now.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check it out as a theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. It's on her album Music Podcast 3, and her Bandcamp is down below.
Thank you.